Hi, Craig. It's good to see you here today.
Yeah, very good to be here.
So could you start off by giving us a quick introduction of yourself and your business?
Sure. The business is we are a lithium explorer. We have primarily projects in Tanzania and Nevada. I'm a geologist. I'm Canadian based. I've been working in this industry since the early 80s. I've worked in just about every continent apart from Antarctica. I've worked for major companies, junior companies, and in China, actually. I worked alongside China Railway Resources when they first started getting going, as well as I was deputy general manager of Zijin Mining. Perhaps some of your investors might have heard of them. They're a big mining company, and I was part of a lot of their overseas acquisitions.
Great. So are there any strategic reasons for working on your lithium projects and the locations that you mentioned, which is Nevada and Tanzania in Africa? Specifically, how's the lithium mining environment in Tanzania?
Okay, sure. Yeah. Lithium is an element that exists everywhere on Earth. However, in economic quantities, it's fairly rare. Some of the largest deposits within North America have now been found in Nevada, particularly Lithium Americas, the big deposit there in the Thacker Pass, as well as the TLC project of American Lithium. Those companies sound a lot alike. Those are two different companies. And our Nevada project is actually nestled within the outer boundaries of the TLC project. Regarding Tanzania, it is a country that is part of the East African Rift. The East African Rift is a target that I had geologically for continental volcanism, new volcanism, basically that have occurred within the last 500,000 years. And a lot of those types have been very light element rich. They have found helium deposits within Tanzania, and now we're finding very substantial lithium deposits.
I see. Now let's talk about some updates. Recently, we have heard the exciting results for Titan 1 and Titan 2 lithium projects in Tanzania. Can you tell us the significance of them?
Sure. The Titan 1 and Titan 2 projects comprise about 850 square kilometers. So these are very large targets. Both were sort of picked partly by accident, but partly by they look very similar to those Nevada type deposits. These are large, flat, open areas called playas or salars in South America. This is another area that is reminiscent of this African project as well. That's a very lithium rich region within Argentina, Chile, and Bolivia. So the significance here, though, is we're finding massive amounts of lithium. And just to put it in perspective, a very good anomaly in Nevada within soils would be 200 to 300 parts per million. And we're seeing 900 to 22,000 parts per million. So we're getting quite a degree above what we see in Nevada. And for strike length, within Nevada, 4 kilometers to 6 kilometers, those are massive finds. And what we're finding is 4 kilometers to up to 22 kilometers. So this is just very big. I mean, it's shocking. We ourselves, in our initial sampling, we ran a line that was 14 kilometers long, and the highest grade sample was at the very end of the line. So we had to extend it. We found more high grade, so we've had to extend it again. So it's a learning process, and we haven't yet defined the size of the target. Still growing.
Amazing. So those are definitely some exciting highlights that I'm sure the investors are excited about, since there's a high demand in lithium right now. So Craig, my last question for you is, why should new investors start looking into your company now?
Sure. I think over the next decade, we're going to see, and a lot of this is mandated by governments, but we're going to see a shift away from gasoline-powered vehicles to electric vehicles. Most of the major car manufacturers have already announced quite a portion of their fleet to be electrified within the next 3 to 4 years. as well as goals that are targeted by governments for 2030 are quite interesting, and they're going to force business basically to become electric vehicle. Now, to supply that demand, we need pretty much all the lithium in the world, and we basically can't keep up with the demand, essentially. So to find a target of this size is extremely significant. I can only equate it to finding the oil in Saudi Arabia. I mean, it's just massive. For investors looking at the market now, there's a lot of companies that are very junior, that are just getting going, which, you know, we are one of those. And there's other companies that are pretty established. Their stock price is plateaued. So if you really want to see the lift for an investor, that's where it is. It's in the discovery, the early stages like we are, up into the resource stage. So within the coming year, we'll be drilling and we'll be building resources. So we'll be getting that going, and hopefully that's an extremely exciting time for investors.
Perfect. So that's all my questions for you today, Craig. Thank you so much for being here with me.
Oh, it's been my pleasure.
Thank you.